And then there's Pedro. So Lester brought my chicken chair up. And Ranch Hand and I are just sitting here and hanging out with the chickens at the new halfway house on the hill. Today, friends, we are moving the halfway house, and we're not moving it far, but I have to get all of this stuff cleaned up underneath here. It's time to clean out the coop. The problem is below here is more dirt. So we're gonna do some shuffling. We're gonna have a temporary house. We're having a halfway house to the halfway house. So this is officially the quarter house. That's what we're gonna call this. And Lester is here contemplating the move. That important part of this is there's actually no floor to the halfway house, so it touches the ground. It's a big day, big day. So these are called pallet forks, and they're pretty fancy because they actually screw onto your bucket. So you don't have to have a whole separate, like, do you call that a component? Implement? Oh. I think it might fit if you just turn it a little bit. So an implement for the tractor is an attachment. I'll call it an attachment because I'm not that fancy. But our tractor, we have a bucket and then we have a hay spear. And these are pallet forks that, as I mentioned, screw onto the bucket. The wider you place them, the more evenly that this coop, halfway house, will be distributed. You can see that they have left quite a compost pile here with shavings and food and leftovers. This is gonna be something here. All right, I gotta hang out. Somehow, the scrap pile has come into play here. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
But we found it and we're gonna use it. So let me show you what I mean. So we are essentially creating a box. I'm going to
lift up over there.
Lift this up. Just use the roof? All right, I gotta put this down. All right, so this is pretty cool. So we took this piece of steel and it goes on top of the two forks and under the edge of this part of the coop, the middle of the coop, and the other end. Now, if it can somehow stay together, we're doing good. But we're only gonna lift it a tiny bit. We're crooked. We're crooked. We need to pull it this way. Hold on. The halfway house is now the halfway house on the hill. We moved out of the front yard and we put it up here. And I'm gonna grab the other two chicken tractors and bring them near here as well because we're gonna work on some graduation points. Lester brought up the pine shavings, which was really sweet. I'm gonna sit here for a minute. He also brought up my chair. This is my chicken chair. I like to come out on my lunch breaks or in between calls and stare at him like a creep. Lester brought my chicken chair up. And Ranch Hand and I are just sitting here and hanging out with the chickens at the new halfway house on the hill. Ranch Hand, I don't want your booty in my face. I don't want it in my face, my love. She's so excited. Ranch Hand loves chicken time. Not because she loves chicken, but because she loves to come sit on my lap while we watch chickens. Let me show you. That, baby, stop. That is Paco, the little rooster in there. And then Pedro is in there somewhere. There he is. Hey, Paige, we're not gonna look at the messy little roost thingy, okay? I have their food and water, and I put 2 milk crates in there for them to sleep in at night. They have not been wanting to roost yet. They're not old enough to do that. So that little milk crate will serve as their bed. And Lester brought bedding up here to be able to fill into that. I don't intend to put pine shavings on the floor until they eat all that grass and it becomes bare, and I have to. For now, they're very content to just have that space. This will not stay here, but this, someone sent us, I think when we had puppies, and it has served as a kitten holder, a chicken holder, and just for like a lot of things for temporary housing. I have chickens that are walking around out here, and they sure do look beautiful. I wish the grass was greener, but you know, beggars can't be choosers in the middle of September. That apparently is the new August in Texas. But sweet girl, sweet girl. Hold on. This girl right here is so insistent. Oh my goodness, baby. She's like, the video is about me. The video is about me. I don't think that video is about you, but it's okay. Welcome to the halfway house on the hill. And I'm gonna move some of the smaller little chicken tractors up here to the shade too. And we're gonna sit here for a little bit and just love. That's what we're gonna do. And then there's Pedro, who is the sweetest, cuddliest little guy, who's also a bit chihuahua-ish. Like if I reach into his little flock, he's coming at me. And not in a big growl at you way, like he's coming at me. Like, beep, 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 like gets squeaky and loud and pinchy. But then, every once in a while, he will literally come and hop on my lap. And let me tell you, it's awesome. Pedro, do you like to hang out with your mama? He's so excited. He's like, there's good stuff to eat up here. This is a way better spot on the hill. I know, bud. I know. I'm gonna go tell all of his ladies and gentlemen friends. There's a few roosters in this bucket here. So Pedro is a kikiriki rooster. He is the tiniest of tiny roosters. And I have not heard him give a full out crow yet. He has just done just a smidget of a like, it's very broken up. But Paco crows almost every morning. Now Paco is this, hey, you're in the way, sir. You're not Paco. You're an imposter. This is Paco. Right over here in the food bowl is Paco. Paco is also a kikiriki rooster. And they each have some of their own ladies, and eventually will have their own little space when it comes time to breeding. I will not start breeding them until next spring though. But they are super funny and so tiny, and fully believe that they are in charge of all of the things. All of the things. This is one of their girls right here. Hi, beautiful Penelope. Hello. And there are a few other kikirikis in the main coop already as well. And one of the eggs that we hatched this past week is also a kikiriki. So that's kind of exciting news. There's a large amount of a variety of chickens in this space, and they're all bantams, and eventually they will have separate spaces and we will grow into all of that, but they're still pretty young. Some of them are actually, some of my frizzles are still, they still have fluff instead of all of their feathers. So they have a little bit to grow yet. They're kind of my gauge right now because they were all right around the same age when I got them. And they're kind of my gauge on like, are they ready? Are they not ready? And I think we need just a few more weeks over here before we're ready. Okay, so these chicks are definitely halfway house size, but we're gonna wait, I think, another 4 or 5 days before they actually graduate to the halfway house. So I have moved their little chicken tracks over here, and I've opened the door. And so far, things are great. Now, Daniel Tiger's very interested, but Daniel Tiger doesn't want to catch. He's just curious. He's been around them the entire time, and to be honest with you, they do really, really well. He mostly just wants to know why they get a box to sleep in and he doesn't. Yes, I'm using the shirt that someone sent as a shade cloth. It started out on the very first day that I put chicks in here, and well, it's kind of stuck. It's just for daytime purposes. They have a little hut to go in, and I can move this every single day, and do. And they're doing really well. They have heat inside there, and they will need heat for the... Hey, wrong way there, Clyde. You have to figure it out. Stella. Okay. Good girl, Stella. She's like, I'll sit right here and I'll watch, which is perfect. This is so sweet to me, y'all. Look at her. She's just gonna sit here and make sure they stay in, make sure the cats stay out. She's so incredible. But I am really proud that we've lost 0 chicks, both from hatch and the ones that came to Lester. All of these are bantams, so they're tinier chickens, specialty chickens. And I think that we may actually have a frizzle right there. I'm looking at the feathers growing in, and that might be a frizzle silky. I'm not sure. Right now it's Janky Jan 2.0. But either way, they're really happy, and they're gonna be happier when they get to move to their new space as well. Maybe tomorrow we'll work on